Namanna, 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 namandas, namandas, namandas.
Today, we are gathered on this occasion of Hatsubon, the first memorial and Obon service, the gathering of joy. We are here to remember our loved ones who passed away. Let us reflect on those who passed away since last year's Obon. I will now read the Hatsubon names. They are Ellen, Akira, Kishi, Shaku, Zenmyo, March 29, 2020. Robert, Masao, Nakayama, Shaku, Koryu, October 23, 2019. Ichiro Nakayama, Shaku, Hoju, January 21, 2020. Midori Komoto, Shaku Kanji, May 25, 2020. Linda Teal, Shaku Josho, November 28th, 2019. Fujio Fudge Shiogi, February 12th, 2020. We sincerely express our gratitude, respect, and love to those who have gone before us. May we realize the truth that all our lives are impermanent, but at the same time, interconnected with our loved ones beyond life and death. Here now, we reflect on their wish for us to find true happiness by encouraging us to encounter the Buddha Dharma and entrust ourselves to Amida's great working, which is the embodiment of wisdom and compassion. I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha.
Namanna, 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 namannos, 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 namannos.
本現在説法者利音二道が公明異極楽合国衆生空宿単樹小楽公明極楽ルシャリ音極楽国土七十乱順七十羅網七十五十改税使用主相異尿税行為国明安極楽ルシャリ音極楽国土牛ポチ悪毒水主万語中地帯順に本社富士支援街道金言ルリハリ五条上右老学薬医金言ルリハリ社公爵襲名の二言直視地中連芸大名車輪小式小公公式陽公釈式社公白式白公微妙公見車輪本国ら国土上十尿税空毒将軍愚者利音二部国土上差天学黄金二次中夜六時二遊万だらけ五国衆上上位小丹各位英国上州妙家空用他を十万の区分即位時期次元と本国本時期協業者利本国ら国土上十尿税空毒将軍武士者利本二国上修十奇妙座敷市長白国弱オムシャリ下領便が牛名市長税商州長昼夜六時水上下音五音延長五今後力七宝大分合唱道分行税東方合同修上門税音に改新年分年俸年相者礼音行門に市長人税財宝少々小医者が異部国土無三幕主者利音五部国土小無三幕土市名が教右人税小州長改税阿弥陀文欲両温泉流園芸少佐者利音二部国土二部水道小法五十九オラモ水味妙音非妙薬千十学当時空差門税恩社外事年上年分年俸年相死新者利音五部国土上十尿税空毒将軍シャリオン法尿意運が異文が子阿弥陀シャリオン二分公明無料生じ報告無償証言下皇合意阿弥陀ウシャリオン二分寿命牛五人民無料無変阿蘇義公公明阿弥陀シャリオン阿弥陀文上文二来王根自公ウシャリオン二分無料無変小門弟子会やらかんいぜ三十四小の地消防殺種百部尿税シャリオン二部国土上十尿税空毒将軍愚者利音極楽国土中上少者改税阿弥バチ五中多一小部小五主人多いぜ三十小の知識単価無料無変が葬儀公正シャリオン十条門者応答本願願勝異国勝医者が特用尿税頂上善人空営一生シャリオン不可一生前言福徳因ね国 国小異国者利翻訳善男子善妙人門仙阿弥陀文修持名号約1日約2日約3日約4日約5日約6日約7日一心不乱公認臨妙十字阿弥陀文妙正正寿現在午前税人十字神父天道即徳往生阿弥陀文極楽国土舎利音楽見世理公正四言訳修上門税聖者応答恩願小異国土舎利音妙が根者三段阿弥陀文不可思議功徳逃亡役八宿微分趣味総分大趣味分趣味公分妙音分妙税と大賀社修正分各王合国水行上絶素変風三千大先世界戦場人言妙と修正等身税小三不可思議功徳一切小分小五年行者利を南方世界う日が東分妙門公文大円見文趣味道文無料精進文妙税と合賀社修正文各王合国水行上税総変風三千大先世界戦場人言妙と修正等身税小三不可思議功徳一切勝負総合年行者利本裁縫世界無料十分無料総分無料道分大公分大名分放送分上公分妙税と合賀社修正分各王合国水行上税総円風三千大先世界戦場人言妙と修正等身税小三不可思議功徳一切小分小五年行者利音の法世界有縁見分最小音分南小分二小分毛明分妙税と合賀社修正分各王合国水行上絶素変風三千大先世界戦場人言尿と修正等身税小三不可思議功徳一切小分小五年行者利音芸法世界牛四分妙門分妙公分断魔分報道分自法分妙税と合賀社修正分各王合国水行上税総円風三千大先世界戦場人言尿と修正等身税小三不可思議功徳一切小分小五年舎利法情報世界ウーボンノン分宿王分工場分高校分大円見分雑式王慶言新分舎那十王分合計特分県一切義分尿趣味千分尿税と合賀社修正分各王合国水行上絶素変風三千大先世界戦場人言尿と修正等身税小三不可思議功徳一切小分小五年行舎利音の尿意運河学校妙意一切小分小五年行舎利翻訳善男子善妙人門税小分小専妙遊興妙者聖書善男子善妙人会一切小分具象五年海徳風大天王阿のくたら三脈三宝大成功者利本尿と海と真珠が合義勝負小戦舎利音訳人異本願根本願東本願欲勝意阿弥陀仏国者税商人と海徳風大天王阿のくたら三脈三宝大王妃国土略一生略根性略東証税公舎利音小善男子善妙に略信者応答本願消費国土舎利本尿が根者小三小分不可思議功徳 不勝負と役所線が不可思議空毒にさぜ言釈迦無二分の異人南慶右支持能シャバ国土皇族悪性皇族権族煩悩族修正族明族中徳和六たら三役三宝大異小修正先税一切政権南進司法シャリオ統治が王皇族悪性行進南寺徳和六たら三役三宝大一切政権聖子南市司法税人南部戦士教医シャリオン義商備区一切政権天人アシュラ島門文商船官儀真珠サライニコ仏戦阿弥陀経
ナマンナナマンナナマンナナマンナナマンナナマンナナマンナスナマンダスナマンダスナマンダスナマンダスナマンダス
I will now read the Threefold Refuge. Difficult is it to receive a human form, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the Dharma of the Buddha, now we hear it. If we do not cross over to the truth in the present life, in what life shall we cross over? Let us with sincerity and true reverence take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we, together with all sentient beings, awaken to the great way of enlightenment and to the unsurpassed intent of Amida Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we, together with all sentient beings, enter the storehouse of the Dharma, becoming like the wisdom ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we, together with all sentient beings, become units in true accord, in harmony with all things. The pureless, profound, and wondrous Dharma is rare to encounter, even in many hundreds and thousands of kalpas. Now we are privileged to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Namandabs, 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 namandabs. I would now like to read the Japanese, the Daisanmon. Ninjin uke gatashi ima sude ni uku. Buppo kiki gatashi ima sude ni kiku. 好み根性に向かってどせずんば、さらにいずれの章に向かってか好みをどせん。大衆ものともに指針に参謀に帰依し立て祀るべし。自ら仏に帰依し立て祀る。まさに願わくば主情とともに大道を体現して無常意を起こさん。自ら法に帰依し立て祀る。まさに願わくば主情とともに深く胸像に入りて知恵海のごとくならん。自ら僧に帰依し立て祀る。 まさに願わくば主情とともに大衆を通りして一切無下ならん。無常人人未妙の方は百千万号にも愛用ことがたし、我今検問し授事することを得たり、願わくは如来の真実義を下し立て祭らん。ナマンダナマンダナマンダスナマンダスナマンダス。Please join me in Gassho. When sentient beings think on Amida just as a child thinks of its mother, they indeed see the Tathagata, who is never distant, both in the present and in the future. Hymns of the Pure Land. この母を思うがごとくにて、主情仏を臆すれば、現前到来と遠からず、如来を拝見疑わずと、ナマンダウスナマンダウスナマンダウス。Good evening. I'm here recording the Hatsubon service in the evening time. The idea was to try and have the candlelights stand out a little bit more when it's dark at night. Unfortunately, the sun doesn't set until about 9 o'clock or so lately, so we're here recording this service pretty late in the evening. But it is still very nice to be able to have a service like this. Today we're observing the Hatsubon Urabon service, where we recognize the families who have lost a loved one. Hatsubon families are designated as those families who have lost a loved one within this past year since the last Hatsubon Urabon service. The story of Obon comes from the legendary story that goes as follows. An ancient legend explains that there was once a person by the name of Moggallana who is a disciple of the Buddha. With his extraordinary vision, he saw the agony of his mother as she suffered in one of the hells of samsaric existence known as the realm of the hungry ghosts. Moggallana tried to save his mother, but he was unable to. And when he tried to give her food, it would burst into flames and create further agony for her. Unable to help save his mother by relying on his own power, he asked the Buddha for his guidance. And when Shakyamuni Buddha heard of the mother's story, his heart was moved to great compassion. He then told Moggallana to follow his instructions by taking care of the Sangha. The students of Shakyamuni were on a study retreat, and when the retreat was finished, Shakyamuni instructed Moggallana to feed the students a nice, great feast. And kind of unsure as to what this had to do with saving his mother, Moggallana nevertheless obliged and followed the words of his great teacher. Through his all-embracing compassion, Shakyamuni saved Moggallana's mother from this hellish existence. And Moggallana was so overjoyed to hear that his mother was okay that he started to dance. He started to break out and dance. And in seeing how happy he was, the other students also began to dance joyously. So Obon became an occasion for rejoicing in the enlightenment offered by the Buddha, and is often referred to as kangi-e, or gathering of joy. Moggallana abandoned his self-power practice of trying to save his mother through his strengths. Instead, he turned himself over to the guidance of the Buddha, listened to the Dharma, and took care of the Sangha, or the three treasures. Thus, in wholly relying on the three treasures, he completely entrusted himself in the compassionate working of what is collectively called other power. Obon is a day of remembering, honoring, and cherishing those who came before us, and their efforts and compassion for us are the reason why we are here today and can experience this rare and wondrous existence we call life. Through their efforts, we can encounter the teachings of the Buddha here and now. Thus, in remembering our ancestors, we dance in this observance. This is the story of Obon and why it is observed and celebrated all throughout Japan and in this country as well. Obon has a religious aspect to it. It's not just about playing bingo or eating snow cones and kintoki, eating chicken teriyaki, or scoping out the hot girls or the guys that come to this event, right? Hey, I just call it like it is, right? But Obon, at its roots, is supposed to be an event that reflects on our ancestors and those who have gone before us. Isn't this such a beautiful event? At what other day do we do this collectively as a community? Maybe Memorial Day. So maybe this is like a Buddhist Memorial Day, I guess you could say. But we don't do it often. And when we recall the loss of our loved ones, we are forced to engage with what this life is about. We are forced to think and reflect on the meaning of life. And it's very hard to make time for that, especially with our hectic work schedule. Everybody has to worry about paying the bills, right? Paying the mortgage, taking care of the kids, growing grocery shopping, basketball practice, scouts, saving up money to buy a house, right? Or studying for college. We have all these worries and concerns and goals and expectations, beefs, right, with other people, distractions that all keep us from thinking about life in general. All these things preoccupy us and keep us busy. They keep us from seeing the reality of the situation of our state of existence. When a death occurs to someone close to us, that is the rare moment in our lives in which we are forced to think about where we are headed, what this is about, and why we are here. All of these questions were prompted by the person who passed away. And the person who has died is asking you personally right now, are you happy with your life? Where are you going with your life? What is the meaning of this life? These are questions often prompted, but they wouldn't, these are often questions they wouldn't ask you even if they were alive. But now you are having that conversation with that person who is no longer physically here. So how will you answer their questions? This conversation is such a rare occurrence in our lives that we must think of it as a gift from that person who has passed. It is the gift of forcing us to make time to think about life as a whole and what it means. Because if they didn't give it to us, when would we think about these things? Every Obon Odori, well, when we get back to having things in person, but every Obon festival, Obon Odori, please come to the Hondo first and pay your respects to Amida Buddha and your ancestors who have gone to the Pure Land before going about your business outside at this fun and lively festival. This is what I love about the Northwest District. Every temple will do a short service before the dancing. This is such a crucial and important process in the day's events. It lets people who are not part of this tradition, who are new to this event, know that this is a religious observance first and foremost. In addition, it reminds all members that we must first come before the Buddha and express our gratitude for the Buddha Dharma. We show the outside community what we are about. We show them our identity as Buddhists. Then we go out and enjoy the day's festivities. But Omairi comes first. So please come to the Hondo and place your hands together in Gassho before the Buddha. まず阿弥陀如来様の前で手を合わせてお参りをしましょう。The contrast between the loudness of the outdoors, with the children laughing, the loud snow cone machine going nonstop, right? Or the awful PA system where you can never understand the MC, or the loudness of the taiko drums, the awful DJ in the beer garden who's always blasting outdated music, right? The busy working temple members who are shouting out orders. The contrast between the outside noise and the inside quietness of the Hondo will show you exactly what this life is about. The Hondo is a necessary place. We need the Hondo as a place to go to, but we also need a Hondo in our hearts. We need a place of quiet, of self-reflection, of calm in our hearts. And that is brought to us by the teachings of Amida Buddha. It is the teaching of Namo Amida Butsu. But the outside is much too attractive, I know. The outside noise and goings on out there is where all the fun and the people are. And we need that too in our lives. Right? So go out and enjoy the day of Bon Odori. But first, come here. Let us come here. Let us come before the Buddha and tell the Buddha we are grateful to know that we are embraced in the Buddha's infinite wisdom and compassion. Let us thank our past loved ones for guiding us to the Buddha Dharma. And finally, let us show that we are grateful for this life. Then, let us step outside and live to our fullest. Please join me in Gassho. When sentient beings think on Amida just as a child thinks of its mother, they indeed see the Tathagata, who is never distant, both in the present and in the future. Hymns of the Pure Land. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandavs, Namandavs, Namandavs.